Hey guys, it's Rachel.
And George.
And this is Smart Money Happy Hour.
Cheers.
Oh,
Butter me timbers.
wow, that is Christmas and fall all together in a cup. Well, this is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. So everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
And today, we're getting a little spooky, Rachel, because we're talking about money fears. But before you click away, because that sounds dramatic and stressful and stuff, well, it might be. But we're also going to make it fun.
It is. It's going to be fun and exciting. And we're actually going to talk about what you should be worried about when it comes to your money. But there's some crazy things out there, and we're gonna chat about it.
And while we chat about it, we're going to be sipping on a Butterbeer Old Fashioned, which explains the buttery nature.
That makes sense. It's kind of like
drink.
a butterscotch, if you will.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So stick around to the end. We're going to give you our rating, reveal the cost per glass at the end of the episode, and as always, the recipes in the show notes. Okay, Rachel, I think you should come clean and tell the people why this is your idea.
Oh.
You wanted to do this episode. This is a catalyst that came from you.
Okay. Well, one night we were having a conversation with some friends, and I have friends in my life
I believe that. Oh,
Thank
sorry,
you.
continue.
We do have friends that may or may not go to some would say extreme measures, others would say wise measures about our world today. Meaning, maybe a little conspiracy theorist, but like if everything, if cell phones go down, batteries go down, like what they claim would be the next terrorist attack. So we started this conversation, and I left that dinner being like, Winston, we are so behind. And he's like, babe, oh my God. Like if that's really the world, like we should just be taken and like just be done and, go to heaven.
I'm with Winston on that.
Are you? You are. Because I'm like, how much could you survive it? So that's where this episode came, where I just said, there is an interesting fact that people spend their money, and a lot of money, on prepping for something that could happen. So that, and there's a level of a fear in that of like, hey, what's the future going to be? Like how long could you and Whitney survive if something like that really happened?
I get an hour max. Even in a normal society, I'm like, I don't know that I could make it very long. I'm lucky to be here today. I have no real skills. I was never a Boy Scout.
I know.
I was in Awana, which is like the Baptist version of Boy Scouts, where they teach you no life skills, just Bible drills. Turns out very unhelpful skill to have.
You can whip out Galatians 5.
Yeah, but I can't tie a knot.
Yeah. Okay, do you get scared about this stuff, though? Like, do you think about it? Because it really gets, for about 2 weeks, I'm like full on. I will say, we know people that have a type of old car that is like whatever, that if it starts on a hill, it can actually like go into drive.
You want to have a manual clutch.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing, they have like, it's like who I would go to and mooch off of if something really did happen. Because
I want to be friends with some of those people. I don't want to live like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but then it's unfair because what are you going to contribute to the
I think
society
I bring a lot
that
to
will
the
be formed?
table personality-wise. Who's going to entertain you down in the bunker? Winston? Yeah, right. Yeah. But I watched the movie Leave the World Behind on Netflix. DiCaprio was in it. It was a big thing for a little while.
I saw the one where the family goes to the house. What was that one?
I'm mixing my movies. Leave the World Behind was with Ethan Hawke.
Yes, I watched that one.
And then DiCaprio was in the other one.
Crazy.
This is the End or something. But I love I'm going to spoil it. They're having dinner as the world is ending, and they're just having a great time as the whole thing comes crashing down. Yeah. And they're like, the meteor or whatever. And I thought, that's how I want to be.
Yeah, do we go to 30A and just go on the beach, pour a cocktail, pour a Butterbeer scotch?
If it's going to go down, I don't want to be hunkered down, like staring up at it. I just want to be like oblivious. I'm like, oh, all right. Enema Heaven. Boom. Part 2.
Here we are.
But I did watch Left Behind growing up, and that left some trauma on me.
Oh, trauma.
Can I be honest?
Can I be honest?
Yes,
I have
please,
a confession about this.
Oh my gosh.
I will still, in the middle of the night, every now and then, just touch Winston's foot just to make sure that
He's
the
still
rapture
there?
hasn't happened. Because when I was a kid, every morning I thought, I'm gonna wake up. It was scarring. And then you theologically go into it, and do we even know really? Kirk Cameron really strayed us away. And really scared all of us. My parents bought us the children's series of Left Behind. They had a children's version.
That's so cute.
How terrible. just scared to death.
Yeah, I would say this. I am scared of like legitimate end time stuff, like biblically speaking. There's some theories about did it already happen and all
Sure,
this.
yeah.
But if I see clothes neatly laid out on a bed, I'm like, oh crap, it's happening. I'm still here.
George,
like, it freaks me
know.
out.
I talk about 12-year-old Rachel was scarred. And
So I do have an
am.
irrational fear that the rapture happened and that I didn't get taken
George,
for some reason.
me
That
too.
is the real fear, not the like doomsday.
Just scared of.
So that's it. Do you think fear can be contagious?
Yes.
Like your environment, the people you hang with?
100%. Don't
I'm
they say
scared just hanging out
anxiety
with
can be
you.
contagious?
You're not helping me right now.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm fun.
I'm fine.
No, I think fear is. Yeah, because you get ideas in your head that you may not even know existed. And then there you are, ruminating and thinking
We've
about
got more honest as a culture. And so now if you have a phobia, it's like cool to like label yourself. Like my personality is based on this phobia.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, well, I have a thing. I have this phobia. So can we go through some of these common trendy phobias?
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to look because I want to try to guess what they are.
Okay. You ready for it?
Yep.
Trypophobia. T-R-Y-P. Oh.
T-R-Y-P?
Yeah.
Trip.
T-R-Y-P.
I thought it was like you're scared to go.
trypophobia.
You're scared to go on a trip. Nope. Trypophobia.
You'll never guess it
I don't
in 1,000
know. I
years.
have no idea.
A fear of tiny holes.
Okay.
Why not tiny holophobia? Wouldn't that have been more scientific?
I thought you were like fall in one.
I'm surprised you don't know because Kendall Jenner famously suffers from this phobia.
Wait, seriously, that you're gonna fall in one or get trapped in like a claustrophobic?
I think it's like on the Scrub Daddy sponge. There's a tiny hole. People just don't like tiny holes.
Wait, stop it. Are you serious?
I can't make this up, but that's a real one.
Small spaces, I've gotten more claustrophobia as I've gotten older. Of like, oh man, like yeah.
Okay.
Like the ride at Disney, the Avatar ride, it like locks you in. And you can't move like your legs or your body. And there's a little bit of you that's like,
What's the medical device? Is it MRIs where they put you in a very tight tube?
oh yeah. I've never done one of those.
That one sounds scary
It
too.
does. Okay, what's the next one?
Next one is thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia.
T-H-A-L-A-S-S-ophobia.
Scared of
Think deep. Think water.
dying, drowning.
Nope, just fear of deep water. You can lead a horse to the deep water. You can't get him to drown.
I could see that.
This was an internet fascination last year when hashtag North Sea Talk was going viral with that creepy version of the Yo-Ho Sailor song playing in the background.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
I would say deep water.
I did
can
watch.
be
Have you watched Meg?
understandably scary.
The Megatons, the shark movies. Have you
No.
seen these?
No.
They're great. My friend Annie.
I haven't even
loves them.
seen Jaws.
Okay, so these. Are you ready for this? The ocean floor is actually just a layer, and there's like a whole other ocean down below.
There's a secret
Now
ocean?
we're getting good. Yeah. Oh,
Like in the
supposedly.
Earth's core? Are
Yep.
we getting into like magma or
It's
something?
going like way deep. Yeah, that we think that like, oh, that's the ocean floor, but it's not. It's just a layer. But you could actually go through it, and there's a whole other ocean with these like sharks that are as big as this room that are in there. So it's a great movie. You should watch it. It's actually kind of funny. Like there's like good
It
humor.
sounds
in it.
hilarious.
Yeah, there's some good humor in it.
Yeah, I've heard Jurassic Park was originally a comedy.
So I can see.
Thank you for that. Last one, arachnophobia.
Oh, spiders. I know
That one's a
one.
pretty common one. I feel like a lot of humans have this fear. Is Winston a spider killer in the house, or is it you? There's always one person in the house.
Both of us. You know what I don't do? And Tennessee has these. This happened the other night. There's some crazy. It's not a mayfly, but it looks like one. I mean, it's just this nasty bug. I mean, it's huge with big legs and all. I mean, it's just crazy and it's big. And I won't do those. I would rather do like a small spider and get it.
Wow.
But
You're a spider killer.
But the flying, big, long, lanky things, don't do those.
I don't like when people say, this happened with snakes. We had a snake in the garage, and the guy was like, no, it's a good snake. I'm like, if it's in my house, it's not a good snake.
Yes.
So I feel the same way about spiders. I go, no, those are the ones that eat the bugs.
Yeah.
And I go,
No.
well, I'll deal with the bugs when they show up,
That's
too.
right.
And
would
I'll
rather-
murder them, too.
I would rather kill bugs than the spider kill
No
them.
trespassing on the camel property.
That is fair. That is fair.
All right, let's get to money phobias.
All right.
You ready for these?
Yeah. I want to guess.
Chrometophobia or chrometophobia.
Scared of coins.
Fear of spending money or money itself. Just the
Oh,
fear of the idea
Okay.
of money, I guess. People experience panic or anxiety at the sight, smell, touch, or thought of spending money.
All right, that's trauma.
There's got to be trauma behind that, right?
That's deep.
Like no child is born being scared of a dollar
that's
bill.
an environmental situation there. That
So these people, they avoid activities that require spending money, vacations, social outings. I imagine you become like a hermit, like
that's
a recluse.
So sad.
And
Yeah,
severe cases
not
make it difficult to pay bills or just purchase the four walls expenses, just covering the basics.
So like truly not
But
being
I guess
able to survive.
if you do online transactions, I guess that's not scary.
Yeah,
but I guess if you're still hitting like the payment button, does that still trigger something?
You know that money's leaving. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some of those calls, not to this extent, but people call into the Ramsey show and they have this fear of spending money. They've saved, and they have no debt whatsoever.
Yes.
They have over $1 million and they can't let go and spend $500.
Yep. It's like they don't know how. That's why I always talk about money is like a muscle, right? Giving, saving, and spending. All three. It kind of takes to
They're
a degree.
all important.
Yeah, and a level of practice and doing it over and over again where you're like, oh yeah, this is normal. This feels right? Both of all of those, giving, saving, and spending. But when you don't spend for a long time, getting that built back up to know like you're okay. You're okay. You can do this.
It's a scarcity mindset for sure.
Yep.
It could all come crashing down.
Right.
Here's another money phobia, a tickyphobia.
A tickyphobia. Scared to pay parking tickets.
That is actually a decent guess, but it's a fear of failure. So this prevents people from taking calculated risks with their money, like investing, purchasing a home. There's a fear that like, what if I just lose this all?
Okay, so
it's good to have like a gut check.
Yeah. The
is this super
riskier
risky?
the riskier the investment, the more you need to be aware of.
But love is risk. You know what I mean? Like at some point, you gotta just get
go out
over
there.
it and take the calculated risk.
Okay, so out of both of those, spending money or the investment, which one would you lean towards?
I am pretty risk averse. It's why I don't own any crypto, even with fun money. I'm just like, I don't want the idea that I could lose it all scares the heck out of me.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm just not a fan.
I'm going to do that too, George. We have the same fear.
You definitely don't have a fear of spending money. I've seen you spend money. You're really good at it.
I just love it. You know, I was on the Target app last night.
Spiritual gift of yours.
And I just thought, man, I went to Old
Just for fun? Is this what you do at night?
Well, no, we went to Old Navy with the kids because my kids,
You physically went to an Old Navy?
I did, which I've not done in a long time.
Was anyone in there?
2 people. And me and the kids, because Carolina had a soccer game. So we were like, because in Tennessee right now, the weather's just turned. And it's like they're freezing. And my kids,
getting crispy.
They just don't have anything. Charles, I really didn't buy a ton last year. So like everything is just, like they just don't have a lot of clothes for winter time.
Because they've grown since last year.
Yes, yeah.
Not because you don't clothe them.
Yeah,
like they have no clothing in the house.
It's because of last year, yeah. So we went, and I'm such a fun mom.
I believe it.
I was like, y'all are so lucky you have me because I'm
How many moms out there took your kids to Old Navy last night?
Yes. And there's a sale, so you're like, get 2 there. Like
so just shopping spree at Old Navy.
We are getting fall and winter clothes. Like this is a hard time to do it.
Do they know how to pick out clothes?
And I'm throwing everything at Winston. So Winston's carrying around all the clothes through Old Navy. And it took a while to check out because we bought a good bunch. But again, what we spent versus what we got was a great deal. So thanks, Old Navy. But yeah, so I did all of that for my kids. I didn't buy myself one thing.
You not only are the fun mom, you're a sacrificial mom.
So then we get home and put the kids to bed, and I don't know. And I saw, it was classic Rachel, scrolling through Instagram. I see a cute Target sweater, and I was like, I kind of want that. So I went on the Target app, George, and I bought 3 things, picked them up today. And it's great, but it was all in the budget.
Mommy had her own little shopping spree.
I enjoy spending money. Yes, I do not have any fear of that.
I'm proud of you. You're so brave. People really underestimate your bravery. Wow. Okay.
Do you not enjoy that at all? Is any part of you like
spending money?
Yes.
The thrill of a deal gets me. So if I'm spending, but I know I'm getting a deal that very few people could get.
Okay. All right.
Like when I went the extra mile to save, I'm like, yeah, it feels so much better than just spending.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Guess what this one is? Pinaphobia.
Fear of pina coladas.
That's
close. Buying drinks.
Very close. Fear of poverty. Yeah,
okay.
So this triggers extreme anxiety of people scared, again, that they could lose it all and be impoverished and have nothing. So that's, again, there's a scarcity trauma thing happening there.
And it's the extremes here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last one, generalized anxiety related to finances. So a constant fear or worry about not having enough money to meet your basic needs or securely plan for the future. And this can lead to extreme stress and even paralysis over financial decisions around saving and debt.
Yeah, we see this a lot, though. I mean, money can bring on so much anxiety and worry, because I think for a lot of people, it's really difficult, right? I mean, the paycheck to paycheck living is very real. And it's like, golly, do we have enough just to cover even the basics? Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So,
Even once you get out of debt, there's still a fear of like, what if things get crazy? What if I don't keep this income? What if I lose my job?
Yeah.
What if it's not enough? And so there's always the what ifs. And so we're going to help you overcome some of those fears today, especially the irrational ones.
Yes,
there are some legitimate ones. And people can take this too far. So we want to offer these people some insight.
Yes. And again, let's go through some of the irrational money fears that people have.
That's a good one. Just kind of debunking, like, hey, these are the ones you
But
don't
if you're scared
need to
about
worry
this,
about.
you don't need to worry about it, okay?
Okay.
So let's go with the first one, investing. Like, what if it all crashes and we lose it all overnight? People have that fear.
That the market will completely crash and go to zero.
Exactly, and everything that we've worked for. And if you went through 2008, like that was a weird time. Like it was. So if you've experienced a big dip or a recession in the markets, it's the closest we could feel like a Great Depression, right? It's probably 08,
In the modern era.
Yeah, but statistically speaking, history-wise, the American economy, right? It has stayed afloat. It has grown. That's really what you have to hang your hat on, is that this is what history has told us, and that's what I have to lean on, not this emotion of like, oh my gosh, what if it all crashes? Because let's be honest, if the market crashed, truly.
Well, think about what you're actually saying there. Every company in America goes to nothing. Bankrupts, shuts down. Every single company. That's what would have to happen for the stock market to go to zero.
That's right. That's right.
The best top companies in the world all shutting their doors and having $0 in revenue or profit.
Yeah.
That's an insane thing. It's
Probably
never
not gonna
happened in
happen.
human history.
Yeah.
So on that side, it's never going to go to zero. Could there be another crisis like we saw where the market drops by 40%? Maybe.
Yeah.
But even then, if you hang on and you don't let go of that money and cash out of fear, what we also saw was the market come back up higher than ever. And then the next few years, higher than ever. So we keep seeing record highs every year if you just hang on and don't get off the roller coaster early.
Yep, that's right.
We had a caller, Rachel, who had thousands, hundreds of thousands buried in their backyard.
Because of fear.
He's a good old boy in Texas, and he was just scared, and he's like, I don't trust the banks. I don't trust the stock market. So he had it in tin cans in his backyard. I asked for his address. He did not find that funny. And he clearly has
George
a lot of
shows up
weapons.
with a shovel that he's borrowed from someone. And
But it
it's
hurts
just
my
like, here
heart
I
because
am.
I'm like, he's losing money every day just to
Oh,
inflation.
totally. Yeah.
So you have to beat inflation, and that means investing, wisely in the overall stock market with mutual funds and index funds.
That's right. All right, next is that the dollar goes to zero.
Ooh, this one I've seen a lot lately, especially among the crypto bros and the gold lovers.
Yes.
They say the dollar's going to crumble. It's going to get devalued. The other countries are coming for it. And so you better get out from the dollar.
And I may say this, and it's like, some people may correct me on it because I don't know my world economic, status with every country. But there have been fears of certain currencies around the world going to zero and then another currency taking over. Like I've heard that throughout the years. So if you buy into this because this currency is going to go down, then it's going to, it's going to be 18 times what you bought it for, all of this. So the denarii was one of these. Y'all remember this? And I had a friend and he bought into it because he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy, $300 worth of denarii. Because
as a hedge against
because the government's going to
dollar.
shut down. That's right. And the government there is going to shut down and they're going to replace it with Iraq's going to come in. It was this whole thing. And he swore he was going to make $300,000. Never happened.
So
But
they mixed fear with get rich quick.
Yes, yeah. And I feel like
Yikes.
that can happen a lot with currencies.
Oh, absolutely.
That people,
there's one
jump
called
on it.
Forex trading. This is what it is. When you're trading for different currency and trying to make the spread. And there's a lot of spam accounts that are under my name. And they DM people.
Oh, no,
going
George.
like, hey, I have great investment opportunity. Are you interested in Forex trading and crypto investment? Very good. And people are messaging me like, you got hacked, right? I'm like, no, it's a fake account. It says George Camel with 2 L's and a 2-3 after it. But this is a big thing out there that people are going, hey, not only should you be scared of the dollar going down, but you should also realize you're missing out on incredible gains.
Right, somewhere else
on
with
these
other
alternative
currencies.
currencies.
Yeah.
So is the dollar losing some value because of inflation? Sure. But it's still a global standard. And America's still got that riz, whether you like it or not. We're still
there.
top dog.
It's still there.
I'm not worried about the dollar going to zero.
Okay, how about this one? The fear of buying a used car because it's going to break down.
That is a big one.
We hear this a lot because
I need to buy a new car because the used cars are just scary,
they're not
Rachel.
safe. They're not safe.
It's going to crash.
They're going to break down.
Burn.
Yep. Now, if you're buying a 30-year-old car, are you going to have more risk of that? Sure, right? Like, I mean, I think there's obvious, stats that you could see in that. But buying a used car, you guys, does not mean that it's a crappy car. Because we know people that buy, 6-year-old cars, and they're great. They're fine. So this whole idea that it's not safe or it's going to break down, it's simply not true. Because even new cars break, right? You buy a new car, within the first year, stuff could happen and maybe still under warranty. But the idea that, like, no car is going to be perfect.
Yeah, and modern cars within the last, 15, 20 years, they have great safety features.
Yes.
And so have there been fancier, like the lane departure monitoring, and I need that for my... A lot of times we justify the purchase based on, I did it for safety. That's why we have a $600 car payment. It was because I needed the family to be safe. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what your new car is a day after you drive it? It's a used car. So get a pre-purchase inspection, of course. Make sure you're not buying a lemon, but also understand that there's no such thing as a 100% safe car.
All right, next is throwing all of your savings towards debt.
Ooh.
Because we talk about when you're doing the debt snowball, you get $1,000, which a lot of people are like, that's not enough. So that's a fear.
Fund.
That's a fear. And then throw everything you have at the debt and get out of debt as quickly as possible.
So if you have $20,000 in a savings account, we're saying, hey, go down to $1,000, use the other 19 to begin to pay off debt, to accelerate the process.
That's right.
That is a legitimate fear a lot of people have.
Yeah, in the $1,000 emergency fund.
Yeah,
in the $1,000 emergency fund, I get that people are like, oh my gosh. Fun fact, I even tried to convince Dave like 10 years ago
to change his tune?
To change baby step 1 to 1 month's worth of expenses versus $1,000. And he's like, nope. Stood his ground. Because his point, which I get, is number one, you want people to get quick wins, right? And getting $1,000 fast, it's a motivator to know, okay, I can change my money habits and I can actually do something that's on this list really quickly, right? So that's key. And then majority of emergencies that come up, you can pay with $1,000. And if not, you pause the debt snowball, save up throughout the month. And then you pay, right? Like if stuff happens like with your roof and it's more expensive, you'll get a bill later. It's not like you have to have all the money right there, right? So the idea that you can, cash flow things as they come up. So.
And we know that 4 in 10 Americans have nothing in savings. So this is not the majority of people that have 20 grand sitting around.
Yeah, 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency in cash. So.
That's sad.
It is, yeah. It's better than where some people are.
You kind of need that fire lit under you because I think a lot of us have gotten a little comfortable. Obviously, we're not doing great with money, but a lot of people are going, yeah, but I have some savings here, so I kind of have a little pad, or I have my credit card as my little safety net. When you go down to $1,000 and no credit cards, you realize the state you're really in.
Yeah, and you're like, let's get this paid off quickly. And then when you get a jump start, what you're making on that savings, how you can build that back faster without payments every single month when you get out of debt, you're going to get it back in no time. I mean, you really are. You'll be able to save up so much faster when you don't have a $600 payment here or a $400 payment there, right? Like it all adds up so much. And once you're out of debt, you can get that savings back faster.
And most people get out of this debt in 18 to 24 months if they follow our plan with intensity. So it's not like you're going with $1,000 for years.
That's right.
That's a good one. Okay, fear of losing money through investing and instead just trying to save your way to wealth. Because investing has risk, saving money, virtually no risk. If you're just putting money in a savings account, it's not going to go to zero somehow. But investing, it potentially, theoretically could.
Has more risk.
The problem is your savings account earns anywhere from 0% all the way up to 4% right now, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Whereas investing, we've seen over the last 30, 40 years in the stock market, we're talking 10 to 12% returns.
Yes. Yeah. You're able to make so much
You need to outpace inflation, not just keep up with it.
That's right. Next is just you grew up with financial uncertainty, and so now you're extremely frugal. So that's a big one.
We never had money growing up, and I feel like we could get back there if we're not crazy frugal for the rest of our life.
Yep. And to a degree, when you live through something, that's going to determine so much of your habits, right? I mean, like that is very true. So I totally understand that. But I think that's where Dr. John Deloney always talks about facts are your friends. So if you have the money and you have a savings, you have retirement, like you can enjoy some of your money, right? Like you're not factually going to go back to where you were because you're still making an income. You're still able to budget and spend what you want and being responsible with it. But that doesn't mean because you're spending money that you're going to go back to where you came from. So
That's good. And that takes time to sort of rebuild the new file in your brain.
Yes.
That's a good one. This is a legitimate one that I have found myself struggling with, Rachel.
Yeah.
Spoiled kids.
Oh,
As a new dad, the question, will I ruin my kids if they have more financial opportunity than I did? Because I want to give my kids the best, and I want to not see them struggle, but I also want to make sure they have work ethic and that they're not entitled. So this is a real one, as I think through, well, what am I going to do for Mia's first car and her house and a wedding? Do I want to just pay for it all outright, or how do I get her to have the right amount of skin in the game?
Yeah.
How would you handle this as someone who has a bunch of kids who are older?
It's determined upon those three things you just listed, you're probably screwed already. Right? But if it determines of a car or a wedding, and that determines how she is in life.
Yes. It's more about the character that you've raised her with.
Yeah, I think it's the everyday stuff. And then, George, not to correct you, but it was great. You're like, I don't want her to struggle. That is good. It's good for them.
I want her to struggle in the right way.
To be frustrated.
Yeah.
Right. But I read this book and they said when we were growing up, we had helicopter parents where they just hovered. And now there's snowplow parents where they pave the way. So there's no bumps, no obstacles.
Perfectly
and it's just
smooth.
this walk. Yep. And they just get to walk. And how terrible that is for kids.
And that's what I'm asking. How do you create the right amount of friction? That's difficult.
You make them do stuff they don't want to do. My 9-year-old, you asked her to unload the dishwasher, love her. But it is like I am asking her to walk 2 miles to get us water from
Uphill
a well
both
and
ways.
bring it back for the family. I mean, it is.
You should ask her to do that, and then she'll feel like
so,
unloading the
it
dishwasher.
is just,
What a treat.
So they're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want,
Throw a tantrum.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like, Mom, get that they have to pack their water bottle. Like they have things that they're responsible for in the mornings for school. And you would think that I am absolutely asking them to run a marathon and take word to the British for the war. I mean, it is so, it's unbelievable. So again, that responsibility, the work, the actives, the tasks that they have to do that they don't want to do, they got to do it.
And you call yourself the fun mom.
Yeah. Or then we go shopping.
Then we shop to forget that we had to unload the dishwasher.
I know. Because I think that's what's hard for parents is and then in school, I've heard so many stories of parents that call the teacher and try to fix the thing.
Oh,
and I'm I'm sorry, that's the grade you got. So let's figure out how we can deal with that.
You need to figure out how to navigate this.
Yeah. So I think those are those day-to-day situations is what shapes our kids. It's not, I don't believe it's not oh, you have a car, suddenly you're a spoiled kid, right? We're going to have you work. My parents, we had to save up for half of our car. We'll probably do that for our kids.
That's the 401 Dave plan? Is that what you guys call it?
Dave.
I love 401
that. Dave. So there's elements to that I think are really intentional, really good because it forces them then to save and to work, right? Those daily activities they have to do to lead to a big goal. All of that is so good. But I don't think just because you pay for a wedding, automatically your kid's ruined, right? They're ruined by the day-to-day things that happen in your home.
That's true.
In my opinion. But who knows? I just have a 9-year-old as the oldest, so we'll
see. We'll see if they get a brand new car. I don't trust 16-year-olds with brand new cars.
No.
I don't think that should be a thing.
Oh my gosh.
I see if you're driving a nicer car than me at 16, I just have problems with that.
Well, and I don't know if you feel like this, I feel old, but when I see kids in cars, I'm literally are you 12? Are you 12 years old driving that car right now?
It frightens me.
They look like babies.
I wonder if people think that about me when I'm driving. Just a little guy.
Just there he is.
Look at him go.
You got a beard, George.
That's why I wear a beard.
Just to look a little bit
so I don't
older.
look 12.
Yeah.
All right, here's one that's tangentially related. Do you like the use of tangentially there?
I don't get it, but sure. What? Say it again.
Well, if you didn't get it the first 2 times I said it, I don't think the third one's going to be the charm here. Tangentially. Like tangent.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. The fear of getting your information stolen online.
Oh,
that's
real,
fear.
and actually, that's pretty legit.
I've become kind of a privacy nerd as more of a public figure now. It scares me more to have my stuff on the internet. I don't know what to call it.
What are you charged?
A public figure.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you just said that.
I don't like having my business out there. No
one, regardless of their job or situation.
I know, but we are more of a target than Joe Schmo down the road.
We're not?
All right.
No.
I will find your information tonight, Rachel.
Stop it. No.
I will be Googling.
Oh,
but
my
you know what? I
gosh.
wouldn't find much because of our sponsor,
Because
Delete
I
Me.
have Delete Me, George. So you go try to go to a data broker website and you can't find me.
Delete Me will find and remove the information for you, and it's why I love them.
It's a great
And
service.
It really does take a little bit of that fear out that people are out there finding your information, and they can scam you, commit thievery. Who knows? So protect yourself from the risks of online scams with Delete Me. Our viewers and listeners, they can go to joindeleteme.com/smartmoney, and they'll get 20% off any of their plans, or you can click the link in the description and show notes.
Yeah, it's so good. Again, you guys, they remove your data, your home address, phone number, all the important stuff off of these websites so your data is not sold. It is so important today. So
You'll
make sure to
sleep
check them
better
out.
at night.
Make sure to check them out.
You know what I'm not fearful of?
What?
Cozy Boy Fall. I'm claiming it. I'm naming it.
Oh, are you going there?
Yeah, I think it's going to just be a Cozy Boy winter. And part of that is because of one of our newest sponsors, Cozy Earth,
Oh, y'all.
which is a great name. They really do make the
Obsessed.
coziest products on Earth.
Obsessed.
I don't know if that's where they got the name, but that's where I'm going with
The
it.
bed sheets literally feel like silk. We put them on, and my kids, because they'll like climb in bed in the morning and stuff and come in, and literally Caroline was like, "What is this?" She like picked it up and was like, I was
The
like,
luxury.
I know, it is so great.
And related to that, my dogs love them because they sleep in the bed with us, and they
there.
are cozier than ever.
Oh, yeah, the sheets are
great.
great. Winston, actually, I got a pair of joggers from them and like pants. So soft. And Winston went online and bought a hoodie.
Wow.
And he didn't know about our discount. Didn't use the discount.
He paid full price.
Paid full price.
Way to
and I was
support.
like, babe. And he
Way to
was like-
support the sponsor.
He's like, yeah. He was like, well, I love the material.
I
And
think
was like,
Winston is going to be part of Cozy Boy Winter.
I think
He's in on it.
He is in on it. Didn't even know, but it's happening.
I love it.
But we have a discount because so if you want all
This
these
is big.
cozy stuff, it is so great, you guys. Blankets and sheets and clothes.
And
like,
Whitney loves their pajamas.
Yes.
Great PJ sets. Go to cozyearth.com/smartmoney and you can use code smartmoney for up to 40% off. This is an exclusive discount, their best discount of the season, and we appreciate them doing that. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to mention that you heard about Cozy Earth on Smart Money Happy Hour.
Okay, so George, all of those that we talked about, kind of irrational fears, right? The market's going to crash, all of that. But there are some rational fears about money that we should chat about.
Yeah, there's some that people aren't scared of that maybe they should be more scared of.
Yeah, you need to be afraid, you guys. Be very afraid.
Here's one.
Go.
Student loan debt.
Oh, so scary. Ah!
I'm scared people are going to have student loan debt and pass it on generationally like an inheritance. Now, it doesn't work like that,
I was
luckily.
like, they can't do that, right?
No, the great news is, Rachel, you die with your student loans. Isn't
Yeah.
that a wonderful tidbit?
No, listen, yes, get out ASAP. It is the one type of debt that stays with people so long because they kind of just put up with it. And what's hard is a lot of these interest rates are getting higher and higher. And people like barely can even just make like the principal payment, right? They can just afford the interest. So
Well, the problem is politicians dangle the carrot of, well,
I
I'll forgive it
know.
if you let me. I'm like, y'all, the U.S. is $35 trillion in debt. They don't exactly have deep pockets to go ahead and forgive the loans.
Yes.
Without making the American people very angry with more taxes.
so true. It's so true. Okay, next is to eliminate all debt. So again, if you're scared to take the leap, I think it is scarier to continue to be in debt for the rest of your life than just to say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pay it off. I'm going to try this plan. And here's my thing always with getting out of debt. Like, do it for a year. Like start the process and just say, for the calendar year, we're going to try this. And if you get to the end of the year and you hate the progress that you've made, you can always get back in.
It's so easy to get more debt and so
Always.
much harder to get out.
Yes. But if you actually start seeing these results, it's going to be more encouraging. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have that payment and that payment. And like, it's so nice to be able to keep my paycheck that I worked so hard for and use it for me and my family.
Yeah.
So
And there's a thread, Rachel. There's a lot of people that have been calling in the Ramsey Show lately or I talk to on social media, and they make really good money and they take on debt because they go, well, the payment's not that bad. I can afford it.
yes.
And then life happens and they lose a job or one spouse wants to stay at home, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, that payment now is a much bigger deal. So we all think starry-eyed when it comes to going into debt.
Yep.
We need to think about the what ifs.
And that's probably our like interesting perspective is that we talk to people every single day that get the short end of the stick of life, right? They lose the job or they get the diagnosis, like whatever happens, seeing life play out. You guys, it happens. Life happens. So why risk your financial situation and your peace of mind for like crap? Like, I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, it's
Most
just
of it
like,
just stuff. Like we go,
it's
what
just
did you spend
stuff.
$30,000 on the credit card? I don't know.
I don't
just
know.
kinda
We just
living.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And you're just like, man. So it's not worth the risk.
Absolutely. Next up, have an emergency fund saved. Most people aren't
Yes.
scared enough about their lack of savings and what that does to them when an emergency does come up.
Yeah.
Because they have to go into debt for it at 22% APR, which is very frightening to me.
Very. Ooh.
Listen, you want to scare me?
Ooh.
22% APR will do it. That
like
and
in a haunted
spiders and
house.
tiny holes.
And tiny holes.
I got to
Yeah,
throw
tiny
away
holes.
my sponge daddy tonight.
I
can't look at the holes.
I love Scrub Daddy. That's what we use at our house.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's great. On the cold water.
I do have an irrational fear now of normal sponges.
Because they're just gross.
They're just freak me out.
Do you put them in the dishwasher though?
Whitney started doing that.
Oh,
and
I do that all the time.
I forgot you could do that, to be honest.
Oh no, it's the best. It feels so good.
I just kept replacing them when they got nasty.
Oh no. Yeah, no. I just saved you money, George. Oh my gosh.
Wow, look at you.
Are we changing seats?
You are the fun mom.
Are we changing seats?
This is a good one. Okay, last one, investing in retirement. I think more people should be scared that they don't have enough in retirement because the stats say they don't. Gen
Yeah.
X said they need a miracle to retire. They say they need 1.56 million to retire comfortably. The average 401k balance for Gen X, 56 grand.
Oh yeah.
There's a giant gap between what we know and think we'll need and how we're actually doing. And the good news is you can do something about this.
For sure. And it's a math formula. Like figure out, hey, what are you living on today? Is it somewhat going to look the same, right? And then calculate inflation and just say, okay, out of these years, what do I need? So there's a formula to get there to at least get your answer.
Yeah. And if you follow the Ramsey plan, you get out of debt, get an emergency fund, then begin investing 15% of your income. Over the course of a decade or 2 or 3 or 4 even, you will become a millionaire and you will retire with dignity if you do just that. And then, of course, paying off your home early, increasing investing, you can do this stuff. Even if you start at 40 with $0, I did the math on this. If you invest 15% of the average household income, 40 to 62, you can become a millionaire.
There you go.
So let that encourage you.
Isn't that great? The tortoise always wins, George.
That's right.
Slow and steady wins the race. It's not exciting. It's not flashy.
So stay out of debt. Don't owe people money. Have money in the bank. Be on a written budget. Our favorite tool is EveryDollar. We'll link it in the show notes if you want to go check that out. And that truly gets all the fear out of my life because I'm focusing on the facts, on reality, how I'm actually doing, not the headlines, not what could be. How are we doing as a house?
Yes, that's right.
What can we control? And that usually helps dispel a lot of the fears.
Yes, for sure. All right, George, it's almost the end of the episode, and we close out every episode with
Guilty as charged.
And this is where our producer, Kelly, gives us a new guilty as charged question every week. And if we're guilty, we take a sip. Kelly?
All right. Have you ever snooped in someone's house?
Oh.
Like their medicine cabinets or just around any
That's
part
a
of their
good
house?
question.
I'm not going to try to be the hero here and say that I didn't because I have.
You have?
Not regularly, not recently. But I am curious, like, what's in a, if I'm looking through a medicine cabinet for something, a Band-Aid per se at someone's house.
You're looking at medication.
Yeah, I don't go too deep. I'm not looking in their drawers. I feel like that, for some reason, drawers feel like not okay. Medicine cabinet, like this is a public space.
We're all here.
Guests will use the bathroom.
And just to see, just be curious.
Yeah.
What's here?
So you're not the type to snoop.
No, I'm not a snooper. On Inside Out too. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh man, so good.
Do they snoop?
Riley does, and her conscience. It's a whole part of the
The
storyline.
guilt.
Oh, and the whole time I was just a nervous wreck, thinking that she was going to be caught, and I was like, Riley. So yeah,
Wow. I did snoop. I wouldn't call it snooping, but I was at Dave Ramsey's house. He was not there, which makes the story weirder. We were filming a video where we were recreating Home Alone.
oh yes,
It's for a
I remember
Ramsey
that.
Christmas party video.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm,
Remember that?
I'm Macaulay Culkin or whatever, and I'm home alone in Dave's house.
Yeah.
And as part of the scene, we opened the fridge to be like, whoa.
Oh.
And I was way too into snooping as to what was in Dave Ramsey's fridge.
So funny.
Can I tell you what I saw in the freezer that changed my life?
It's probably a Sharon thing, but go.
I feel like a Dave thing. There was 3 pints of Jenny's ice cream. And if you know, Jenny's ice cream is like a premium ice cream brand. It's my favorite ice cream. And it's like $12 a pint at Jenny's if you go. I don't pay full price. I'm not that kind of guy. But I saw the 3 pints of Jenny's ice cream. And my first thought was, he really is living like no one else. I was like, this is true wealth. Like there is
He really
$30 worth of ice cream just sitting there.
Really made it.
And
really
I thought,
made it.
this is who I want to be when I grow up. And can I tell you what's in my freezer right now?
3 pints of
3
Jenny's.
pints of Jenny's ice cream.
Dave's just
It's a
changing
wealth cheat
lives.
code, y'all.
Just
So yeah, I did
changing
snoop.
lives.
There was a lot of food in there though. I was surprised.
Sharon,
Because Sharon she loves to cook.
she cooks a lot. So there's always lots of food.
Wow.
And she'll send you home with food.
It was inspiring. I
go.
did not eat any of the things in the fridge.
It's good. Well, I'm going to say I'm innocent on this one, y'all. I think I'm too scared for whatever
Would
reason.
I do it again? In a heartbeat. Not in a way that,
keep it
again,
going.
is nasty. I'm not going through people's drawers. But if I'm in your bathroom, I'm curious.
I'm going to see what you got.
I'm going to peek.
Yeah.
Also, who even has medicine cabinets anymore? It's got to be an older house to even have like the
Mirrored medicine cabinet.
mirrored medicine cabinets. Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, George, who finished their drink first?
You're closer.
I think I did. I enjoyed this.
It was thick. It was a thick, buttery, rich drink. What's your rating?
I'm going to go 10 out of 10.
Wow.
I know. I would order this as an after dinner drink.
It does feel like dessert.
Yeah. Like if I'm like out with friends and we go out, after dinner somewhere, I think I would order it.
Okay, 10
And
out of
sip on
10
it,
for the
yeah.
Butterbeer Old Fashioned. I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
Okay.
As you know, I'm not a huge fan of
Egg whites.
dairy cocktails. And this one has heavy cream in it.
Okay.
It's got bourbon,
It's a little
butterbeer
thicker.
syrup. So the butterbeer syrup is made with cream soda and a butterscotch topping.
Ah.
Very interesting. Along with
delicious.
the bourbon, black walnut bitters, plus the heavy cream.
Yeah.
So not bad. And it only comes out to $2.03 per glass, which is one of the more cost-effective cocktails we've had. So if you want the recipe, go check it out in the show notes, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
All right, it's closing time. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, comment. We love to hear from you guys. And if you did love this topic, make sure to check out our episode on surprising money facts that everyone should know. That's coming up next. All right, we'll see you guys next Thursday on an all-new episode of
Smart Money Happy
Hour.